Thanks, Mallory. You got it right. Hey, folks. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you keeping your energy up. And I'm just going to give you 5 minutes of what's going on with online education. I'm the host of a podcast called Mastering the Next, only from Enrollify. Please do subscribe and listen to it. You'll get a lot more actionable insights. So, talking about online, how many of you have online programs? Practically everyone. The landscape of online is changing quite a bit. Now, some folks like to say the pandemic changed everything. It really didn't. What the pandemic did for online education is accelerate many trends that had already been going on for quite a while. And I want to highlight 5 of those key trends from my experience and vantage point working with online education at institutions and with ed tech companies. Number 1, how many of you know what an OPM is? A few of you. Some of you might work with OPMs, online program managers, not other people's money, online program managers. And what these are companies that work with institutions to put their programs online, do things like instructional design, enrollment outreach, sometimes investing hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars in digital advertising, and as a result, traditionally have taken a tuition cut, sometimes 50-50. Now, what's been going on, you may have followed, is that 2U, one of the largest providers, used to work with USC in a lot of financial trouble right now. Pearson had a group that did this business, and ASU, or Arizona State, was one of their largest clients. They lost Arizona State, and they were sold off to a hedge fund. And Wiley, which many of us know as a textbook company, also had an OPM business, and it was just sold to a company called Academic Partnerships, which is where I worked before I came to Element 451. What's happening right now is that these companies are being scrutinized, and Elizabeth Warren and others are looking for ways to reduce the impact on costs. So these are becoming fee-for-service, which means you pay for these things rather than tuition share. So keep an eye on this. If you want help with your online programs, OPMs are out there. Number 2, workforce demand. Companies like Uber, Amazon, Starbucks, Macy's are working with institutions to deliver online programs to their employees. For example, Uber and Starbucks offer online degrees for free to their employees through Arizona State University, asynchronous degrees. I'll come back to that in a second. So this is a very valuable way. You can partner with companies like Guild Education or InStride, and they work with companies. For example, I worked with LabCorp to get their technicians upskilled and reskilled to take on higher roles, working with the University of Wisconsin and the City University of New York. So you may look at partnering with corporations and finding ways to deliver online, usually asynchronous, education to their employees to provide value, especially for those organizations that maybe aren't offering full benefits like Uber and Starbucks. And I want to talk about asynchronous for a second. Many of your faculty may have a problem with asynchronous education. How many of you have asynchronous online programs? Not real fit? Yeah, wonderful, great. This is where it's all going, folks. The largest online providers are doing this, and they're not just the ones you'd consider low quality. For everything from Arizona State University to Harvard Business School Online are offering asynchronous programs. Why is that? Well, first of all, you have greater access and flexibility. If you're a working professional and you need to take a course at a certain time of day, or you really can't get online to do your work until a certain point in the morning, this helps you. Also, internationally, I teach online courses at ASU or at USC and NYU. I'm going too fast now. And I got to tell you, the synchronous ones at USC, it's very hard for some of my students to get up at 3 in the morning in Europe to be with me on Pacific time, versus my NYU course, which is asynchronous. Students traveling back and forth to India, they can take those courses, no problem. Number 4, short form. How many of you have non-credit online programs? Many of you. Some of those might be stackable towards credits. They might be stackable towards degrees, which is fantastic. These are where the ROI is, folks. This is why aggregators like Cengage's Ed2Go and Coursera are adopting non-credit credentials and offering them through their platform. Sometimes for credit, MBA program from University of Illinois is available through Coursera. And then, of course, Google is just outmaneuvering all of us. Google Career Certificates have a high ROI. Some students decide not to go to college and instead just go for a Google Career Certificate in user experience design and get a great job. So these companies are offering short-form credentials. They're outmaneuvering many institutions who refuse to offer short-form, non-credit credentials. And, of course, number 5, student engagement is changing. Houston Community College has a very interesting model where they're using the metaverse for their online students to interact with each other in a virtual space, not just for student activities and fun things, but also to offer laboratory space for biology experiments, also to offer tours of museums. So this is a wonderful way to engage with students. ASU is doing something similar with Dreamscape, where they're offering an augmented virtual reality experience for those online students. So online student engagement isn't just about students who are at a distance in front of a monitor who come to campus once when they graduate and then get to connect with everything. There's a lot of things going on to replicate the on-campus experience for these students And it is because the future is changing. The future is changing, and I hope you can take advantage of some of these online trends to help your campus mastering the next. Only from the Enrollify Network. Please do listen for more actionable insights. Thanks for your time.